In ToolKit 6.2, we've added the ability to add context-sensitive help to every component in your tool. I'm going to demonstrate simple help right now. I've got a tool that I've saved. I've got a component on the page. I've selected the component, and in the properties, you'll now see we have help properties for each component. If I want to add just some help text manually for this component inside your tool, I just type in some help text. And if I go to run mode, in order to see the help text, the component has to be enabled, so I have to be connected. So I'm going to go ahead and connect to my device. Log in. Now if I hover over my component, you'll see a pop-up that stays up for about a second that says right-click for help. This will indicate to users that there's help for this component. If you right-click, there's now a help menu item, show help, in the context menu. I click on it, and now my help shows up. In order to close this help pop-up, I can either click away from it, or I can click the close button in the help pop-up itself. Now, if you want to add a little more help for this particular component, if you were to just type a long string, it could run off the screen, that type of thing. So we've added this multi-line editor inside our properties. And so if I go ahead and use the editor to add multi-line help for this particular one, go ahead to design mode, I'll go ahead and show help. Now I have multi-line help coming from the component. So this will allow you to format your help a little bit and make it look a little nicer if you really want to. ToolKit supports the ability to use the description property of a parameter in the SID file to show the help from that description property. For users of GAP, the HMI point allows you to enter a description, and for Motohawks in the probes, there's a help text field. If you enter text into those, ToolKit will be able to pick those up out of the SID file and display them automatically, so you don't have to go into your tool and type help into every single component. The way you enable this is if you go to design mode, select the component, you'll see this property that says use SID description. So if I select this and then I go out of design mode and I select my help, I now get a different help. So in our SID file for this parameter, the description's just named SID description, so that shows up automatically in the help. If I go back to design mode, you'll notice that if I unselect this, my help text that I had typed in before is still there. It can still be used, but the use SID description overrides that and automatically puts the description from the SID into the help. ToolKit also supports the ability to have the help pop-up link into your tool help file. So if you're not aware of tool help files, if I go to my tool properties inside the Tool Explorer, you'll see there's a help file name here. You can provide a help file for your tool that then the user can use to help with their tool. Also, we can now provide links into that help file from the components as part of the context-sensitive help. So in order to provide a help file name for a tool, you have to have saved the tool, and then the help file needs to be in the same directory as the tool. This also needs to be in place when you deploy the tool, that the tool file and the help file need to be in the same directory in order for it to work. So I've gone ahead and put a couple help files in my directory that I've saved my tool to. You'll see that I have a CHM and a PDF. ToolKit supports compiled HTML help files. It also supports PDF files. So I'm going to choose the test help, compiled help, HTML help file, and I'm going to select my component, and you'll see now that my help has picked up that we have a help file, and it's HTML. So I can select which type I want the link to be. You can either have HTML help topics or HTML help topic IDs for HTML help files. Okay, so I'm going to select HTML help topic, and then I'm going to select one of the topics that it pulls from the help file for you. So I'll just select that. If you want more information on how to create help topics or help topic IDs for HTML help, or even for the PDF stuff that I'll show you in a minute, there's all sorts of help online on how to do these things. So now that I have my link there, I can go ahead and go out of design mode, and if I right click and say show help, you now see there is a link in the help pop-up. So if I select see more, it automatically opens up the tool help file and takes the user to that topic that I selected. So just so you can see, I'll go back to the tool properties and I'll change my help file to a PDF. I'll select my component. Now I have a PDF page as a link or a PDF destination as a link. So now I need to go ahead and select one of these. So I'll go ahead and select the destination, and now I get to see the destinations. In my drop down, I'll select one of the destinations. I'll go out of design mode, say show help, say see more, and ToolKit now provides an HTML viewer for your, a PDF viewer for your PDF help files, and it took us to that destination within the help file. Now, if I don't want to have help text, but I still want to have the help link into the help file, that's all I have to do is come in here and get rid of my help text and make sure that the use SID description is not selected, so it's not trying to use the SID description. I'll go out of design mode now. I'll right click, I'll say show help, and you'll see that it no longer brings the help pop-up up. It just goes directly into the help file to whatever help link I defined for the component. For non-parameter based components, we've also provided help. So as an example, I'll bring a label on. It's not associated with a parameter, but if I go to the properties editor in the Tool Explorer, you'll see that I have help. Now, one thing you'll notice is that the use SID description is not here, and that is because this is not associated with the parameter, so we can't get the help from the SID. But it still allows you to go in and enter help for this and be able to see it at runtime. We also have added a new component called the help button. It's just a button with the same help icon as we have for ToolKit. It allows you to have help anywhere on your page. So if you don't want to provide help on a component by component basis, say you want to do a per page or you want to just do a grouping of things, you can go ahead and put a help button on your page, go into the properties of it, set up all your help just like you would anything else, and then by the user clicking on the button, the pop-up works. So let's just say, let's set this up. I'll go to run mode, and I will click on that, and you'll see I get the help pop-up, I get the link, I get all the same things. So it's just a nice little component that you can drop anywhere on your tool and be able to show help. If you have an event status in your tool, you're also able to add help for each event type within your event status. So I've got a tool open, I've got an event status on here, and if I look at the properties, when it's selected, you'll see that there's a help category for the event status. What you'll notice here is there's a drop down with an event ID, and so for each event that you have defined inside your SID file, it's going to show up in here. So every event defined in the SID file will show up in this list. You'll be able to select each event type or event ID, and you'll be able to set the help for each one. So this should be beneficial if you need to give your users more help on what to do in the case of an alarm or shutdown, those types of things. So I'll go ahead and just, for event ID 1, I'll go ahead and use the SID description. For event ID 2, I'll put in my own help. For event ID 3, I'll go ahead and go to a PDF destination within my help file. So you can define this for every event or only some of the events. You don't need all of them. I'll go ahead out of design mode, and you'll notice that we have a new column in the event status that's going to show if there's help available. So when the events show up, the help for that particular event ID will have this little help button to the side. So if I go ahead and click on the help, you'll see this was the one that had the SID description, and my SID, the description for this one's event 1 SID description. The second one, I put my own help in. It shows up. The third one, I went ahead and just did a link directly into my PDF file. It goes to the PDF file to the destination that I linked to. So this allows you to have help on your particular events and help the user figure out what to do with those events. That was a brief overview of ToolKit context-sensitive help for tools. We hope that makes your tools easier to use for your users. And if you have more questions or need more information, you can always check the ToolKit help file and learn more about how to provide context-sensitive help for your tools.